Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today we're answering your questions that you gave when we put up our park home video. So we did a tour of our park home and you gave us lots of questions. So we thought we'd do a Q&A answering those questions for you today. So I've got Michael with me to assist me. I've got a list of questions that we're going to work through. Hopefully we'll cover everything, but anything we don't cover, then please just put in the comments and we'll answer in the comments below. So, okay, without further ado, we'll make a start. So the first question is, what is a park home? So do you want to answer that one, Michael?
Well, basically it's a prefab bungalow.
It is. It's just like a bungalow. There's no difference, is there?
There's no difference at all.
No, there's no difference. Size-wise, I'd say it's the same size as probably a small two-bed bungalow, would you?
I should say that,
Yeah, I'd say that for ours. And, yeah, a lot of people have said, does it move in the wind? You know, do you feel movement and things on windy days? And we don't, do we?
No, not at all. It's
Nothing.
People under this illusion it's a caravan.
Yeah, it's
completely
different to a caravan, and that's what you need to understand. They are built for residential living. They are well insulated. It's good soundproofing
really
well,
good
isn't
soundproof
it?
because you can't hear if someone's at the end of the room there.
Yeah, if I'm in the bedroom this end and Mick's in the lounge,
you can't.
We can't have a conversation.
No.
It's like, I can't hear you, and he can't hear me, and I can't hear him either.
The insulation is so good.
Yeah.
And obviously it keeps it's the heat retention.
Yeah,
you know, so
it does really keep it warm in the winter,
so it's
doesn't
really,
it?
really warm. A lot of the time you don't need to put the heating on because it's warm enough in here.
Or when we did, we found after a little while we had to sort of turn it off, didn't we?
The heating's topped up so quick, you're not using it so much.
And we are noticing a big difference in our electric and gas, aren't we?
Massive
and water.
Yeah,
our utility bills are definitely a lot less than what they were in our house. We had a 3-bed detached, quite a large 3-bed detached house.
Large 3-bed detached.
Didn't we?
And it used to take quite a while to heat it up.
Oh, it takes quite a while to heat up.
And you'd have to leave the heating on quite a time.
So we've had a big reduction in our utility bills, definitely. Anyway, I'm going to go through the questions in order that I have them here. It's so easy whilst just to carry on and off the cuff, but I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to read the questions out and answer them one by one. So we've done the first one. The second one is, can I live in a park home full time? Well, that depends on the park. If it's a residential park like ours, yes. If it's a holiday park, then normally there's some restrictions, isn't there?
Yeah, basically a holiday park, if you go to a holiday park, you're going to be billed as a holiday park, which obviously the rent for the year is going to be astronomical.
Yeah.
So you need, if you're thinking about a park home, you need to go on a residential park home, which is a 12 months one, and it obviously has its rules set out.
Yeah, obviously, that's a good point. You know, you can get some lovely holiday parks, but the rent is normally more, and you normally have to be off site for 2 or 4 weeks, or sometimes longer every year. So you wouldn't be able to live in it all year round like we do. So if it's a permanent home you're looking for, you need to look out for a residential site, and that's what we're on. Okay, so that's that one. What's the next question? Let me just move down. Is it just a fancy caravan? So absolutely not.
No.
Nothing like a caravan. So I think we answered this earlier. They are built.
You just got to look at the wall thickness.
Yeah,
the difference.
They are built as a permanent fixture, aren't they?
Caravan, you're looking at a 2-inch thick wall. This is a thick outside studded wall.
And they come with sort of tiled roofs, and we've got an apex roof, and they're well insulated. They're completely built different to a caravan, absolutely completely. And they get proper roofing. We've got proper roofing and solid construction. Yeah, they are on no means anything like a caravan. No, that's not the right word, isn't it? They are nothing like a caravan, is what I'm trying to say.
And as we know, because we used to have a holiday home caravan, and in windy days you
Oh,
do
you
feel it
could
shakes,
feel it
like
move.
really shakes.
Yeah, well, we had a static caravan for many years, didn't we?
Yeah, holiday home.
And it was 37 foot. It was quite a large room,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And that, but on windy days, you could definitely feel it move. And honestly, we had no movement on here, and you shouldn't feel any
No, 'cause
movement.
it is basically a bungalow,
Yeah.
a wood frame. I mean, it's cladded, it's this wood frame.
Yeah.
Where you get
Yeah.
wood frame houses, but they're fronted by brick to make them look a brick building. It's a similar thing,
And
really.
it's all like rendered on the outside
it's all
as well,
rendered,
isn't it?
yeah.
And obviously UPVC windows, doors,
Yeah.
etc.
I mean, we got one next door to us. It's 23 years old, and it still looks as good as
Well,
new.
either side.
Either side. You'd never believe they were that age.
No, they've kept really well. Obviously, there is some maintenance you have to do, and we'll cover that a bit later in one of your questions. So that's that one. The next one is park home living more affordable? Definitely.
Yeah, I think we covered that, didn't we? Really?
We've covered back the utility bills being a lot less, but council tax is a big one. Yeah. So normally, like ours, most of them are the cheapest council tax, band A. We were band D in our other house, so that's a big difference.
It's a big saving
so that's a big saving straight away for us. So that's the council tax, ground rent. That varies from site to site, normally between £150 and £250 per month. So, as I say, that depends on your site, different charges for different sites, but that's a guide, of what it normally is, between 150 and 250, and ours is somewhere in between, in the middle of that. So we're quite happy with that. We don't have to pay any maintenance charges or anything. All we have to pay is the ground rent, because with a park home, you don't own the land. You're renting the land, so you pay a ground rent. So we pay a monthly ground rent, and our utility bills, our council tax, and that's it.
The gas, the electric are so much smaller.
Yeah. So even though we have the ground rent to pay, we didn't have that to pay on our other house. But we're saving on the utility bills,
more on the other bills,
community tax. So we are definitely, our outgoings are definitely a lot lower than what they were in our house. Okay, so the next question is what the service charges. Well, as we've just said, there isn't any on the site we're on. You might find different sites have different rules, but on our site we just have ground rent to pay, and you're all responsible for your own piece of ground to keep it, tidy and what have you. The next question is, can I get a mortgage on a park home? Not normally, because it's not bricks and mortar. A lot of building sites, banks won't give you a mortgage on them. Very often, you can get a loan if you need a loan, but most people are retired people or people downsizing that tend to purchase them outright, like what we did,
most people, Most people are, like you say, selling properties, anyhow.
So like we downsized and that, so we purchased ours outright, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next question? Who is the lifestyle best for? So I say if you're retired, semi-retired, or just want a more relaxing way of life.
Yeah.
We love it, don't we?
It's less stress.
Yeah. And because we had a static caravan for many years, we had a lovely caravan. We loved the caravan life.
Yeah, but that was a holiday one.
It was a holiday home, but we loved that life.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to say, we could live in this. And we could have done.
And it was big enough to live in.
Yeah, and we absolutely loved it. So that we knew we'd like living in a park home because we've had a caravan for many years. So we knew we would love this lifestyle. If you've never been on a caravan holiday, and you're thinking of a park home, I would say go and stay in a caravan or go and stay in a lodge somewhere, probably a lodge, give you a more realistic feel, just to make sure, it's for you. Because you pay a lot of money for these park homes nowadays. They're not cheap, and you have to make sure it's right. It's a big decision. So if you've never stayed in one, I would always say go and stay in one first to make sure it's for you. But ours, honestly, to us, it's just like living in a bungalow, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is a bungalow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
And bungalows are so expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
So expensive. And then you've got the higher community tax and the rates and what have you.
Well, we would have had to pay probably another 150,000 to get a bungalow like this.
Yeah.
On top of what we paid for this.
Yeah. And, you know, we paid a lot less than what we sold a house for.
Yeah, a lot less.
Yeah.
It's still expensive. So
it wasn't cheap.
It wasn't a cheap one by any means.
It wasn't cheap.
It's a lot of money. But it was a lot less than going to purchase something else in the country.
Yeah, we actually had money to come back off our house, didn't we? So if we went for a bungalow, we'd have had to have added to it. And that's something we didn't really want
if
to
we had
do.
a bungalow in the countryside like where we are,
it
would have been another 150,000 we'd have to put to it.
Yeah. And then the other thing we thought of, you know, if it was an older property that, you know, it needs maintenance, it might need new roofs, new boilers and things and that, you know, whereas this is all brand new.
Yeah, which was like we did in the other one. I had to put a new kitchen, I had to put a new bathroom, I had to fit a new boiler. So, which is all expensive. We had to put a new flat roof on the garage side.
Whereas in here, everything's brand new because we bought ours brand new. So everything's got a guarantee on it. And that's, we've got a new boiler or new... white goods in the kitchen.
Everything's guaranteed, obviously, with the makers, and we've got what they call, I think it was a platinum guarantee on the whole building, which is, I can't remember, was it 10 years, 5 years? I can't remember now.
I think it's 10 years.
10 years or something. Yeah. So everything's guaranteed.
Touch wood, we haven't had any issues, have we? So. Well, you have noticed now, we've been here 2 years now, there's a few little tiny cracks I've noticed, sort of movement, which you get on a new house, don't you? It's just the same.
It's just
little tiny, sort of like on the coving, little tiny like filler cracks that need doing, but nothing major, no cracks in the walls or anything like that. It's just very fine little hairline cracks in the filler, I think from the heat and what have you, but that's settling down cracks, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And they're not major, they're so
very
hairline. Hairline. You just need some filler to go and
it's like the Corniche bit where the Corniche meets.
At some point, don't we? But the walls are all sort of wallpapered. They've got a special wallpaper on them that are washable and that. And, you know, it's just... We absolutely love, well, you know, you've seen our tour. If you've seen the previous video, we love our park home. And it was only all the questions that we've had from you guys, you know, in the comments. It was just too many to answer that we thought we'd do a separate Q&A.
You better move on.
So what's the next one? How often do you have to paint it? And, okay. So normally... Like ours, it comes with the guarantee, and they say normally give it a coat of paint after the first 2 years. So we're 2 years now, so we need to give ours a coat of paint, don't we?
And basically, you're talking about £66 worth of paint. Yeah, and probably if you do it steady, about 2 days.
If you've got, we've been looking next door to us. Use Santex. That's what it's called,
15-year guarantee.
Yeah, and they work about £30 for a big.
For a 10 litre, the 10 litre.
I think it's 7.5 litres.
Well, some are 7, some are 10. All depends.
Yeah, it varies. But we worked out two of those cans. We could cover. We asked how much they use, and they use 2 cans.
Yeah, because we've got so many windows and doors. There's not much more to paint.
That's it, because we've got three double windows in the lounge and patio doors, and you know, so we haven't got too much wall to paint. So I think that's quite reasonable, and I'm lucky that hopefully when Mick's shoulder gets better, Mick's going to be the one that's going to paint it. Obviously, that's another factor. If you've got to pay a company to come and do it, obviously it's going to be, you know, pricey, and that's something you'll probably have to do ongoing then every 5 years.
Well, they say that, but the paint, you have to look at it.
The paint
is 10 to 15.
has got like a 10 to 15 year guarantee on it, so you shouldn't have to. But they normally say, rule of thumb, you know, if you can give your, I call it unit, the park home, a coat every 5 years, you're going to keep it well maintained. And that's what you want to do, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a render on the outside, isn't it?
It's rough casted on the outside.
So you just need something like Santex to give that, you know, a coat. And it keeps it nice looking.
But you're talking about 2 days' work, really.
Yeah. I think if you had to pay somebody, I don't know, they vary, don't they, decorators and that. So I know the lady next door said a couple of years ago she paid something, I think she paid about £700 for them to come and sort of do 2 coats. a few years ago. So, but yeah, hopefully, as long as you can, and that's something you'll do, isn't it?
Oh, simple, isn't it? It's only a roller and cutting
I
with a brush.
I can give them a hand myself, but something to be mindful of if you did have to pay somebody, if you're on your own or you don't like getting up ladders and things, then something to take into consideration as well. Okay, do they hold their value?
Yes.
Okay, if you look after your property, then yes, they can hold their value.
They do hold their property.
Maintenance is the key, so especially the exteriors we've just talked about. So if you keep it up together, paint it regularly, do any repairs that you may come across, then...
basically, it's the same as a house. How a normal house goes up, this is the same, basically.
Yeah.
People got the illusion that they're just going to drop off the scale and be worth
Obviously,
nothing. Totally untrue.
They don't increase in value as much as bricks and mortar. No. I mean, bricks and mortar is always going to be a better investment, no doubt about it. But it should hold its value, and I think ours is, we've kept it nice, and as I say, it's brand new, it's 2 years old, it's got a lovely outlook, and I think if we ever wanted to sell it, I really don't think that we'd have
we've had a lot of people asking the owner.
Yeah. This is the first one as you sort of come up the lane that you see, and wow, you've seen it. It's lovely, and it's got a lovely outlook on the back onto the open field. We're very lucky where we are. It's a lovely setting, and it's lovely and peaceful and quiet. So yeah, as long as you look after them, the resale is pretty good. But obviously, as an investment, you get more back from bricks and mortar, obviously. The next thing is, I think we've answered all the questions. Are there any downsides? Yeah, there's a few. As I say, resale can be lower than a traditional home, so something to be mindful of. You don't own the land. Obviously, you're renting the land. And the other thing is, if it's something you're thinking of, I would say go and have a look, speak to the neighbours, check it out. There's lots of sites that have community activities going on. They're gated, and they've got lots of things going on site. Ours isn't. Ours is just a basic site, nice and quiet. They're normally for the over 50s. Most sites are for the over 50s normally. So if it's something you're interested in and you find a site, go and talk to the neighbours, find out the rules and regulations. Like can you have pets? Some sites don't let you have pets. On our site, they've changed the rule, haven't they, recently? You can have a pet, which is something, if you've got a pet, the last thing you want to do is find somebody you like and you can't take your beloved pet with you. So things like that to research.
Things like, vans. If they're like business vans.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you're still working, you've got a commercial vehicle that you bring home at night, you need to ask if you can bring it home, because on our site, and something I agree with, they don't let you park not domestic, business. Commercial vehicles, isn't it? Commercial vehicles, out the front of your property. If you speak to the owner, he can normally find somewhere that's okay for you to park it, but things like that to be mindful of. Don't just jump in and then find out after you've signed on the dotted line that, my son comes and stays on the weekend and he's got a road sweeper and and he's not able to come and park on my drive. So think everything through, chat to the neighbours and that, and find out what they think of it. And most people would tell you, have a good community spirit, don't they?
Really good, yeah.
Because it's a more relaxed way of living, because you've downsized, you've got a smaller home to look after, and everybody's more relaxed and look after each other. Like, even though ours isn't a gated premises, we all look out for each other. It's a very tight-knit community, is what I say. But you can get a lot of park home sites that do have clubhouses, don't they? And bingo and things like that. But that wasn't for us. That's not something we're interested in. We've got a busy life with our family and doing stuff on our own that we don't need that. But we've got a nice community. We've got lovely neighbours, and that's another thing. Speak to neighbours, make sure that they're nice and you're going to get on.
They water our plants.
Ours are lovely. We couldn't wish for better neighbours, and that makes such a difference. And the other thing is, it's a nice quiet site as well, and that's something to be mindful of. If you don't like peace and quiet, then perhaps a park home isn't for you. If you like parties and get-togethers, unless they've got a clubhouse on site that they, somewhere where you can meet, it's not going to be like that. We go out the front, talk to our neighbours, have a good natter and that. Then we go back in our own houses, But yeah, think it through before you make that decision. Otherwise, you could end up losing money if you purchased it and then decided to sell it sort of straight away because it wasn't for you. Because they aren't cheap. You can get on some sites. I have heard you can get some second-hand ones for about 50,000.
Yeah, but that's not a proper. That wouldn't be a proper.
But most of them are over 200,000 now, aren't they?
Yeah.
For a nice large one, something like what we've got.
Well, I've seen them. Well, there's a lot of them about looking at the magazine. You're looking at could be 140, 150, but that's not a new one. That's probably 15 years old, 20 years old.
But which is fine because...
Which is all right as long as it's
and a new
kept
one
together.
Comes like ours, all furnished with, curtains and things, and the dishwasher, the fridge, freezer, everything, washing machine, carpeted. But on the older ones, you can decorate them. You can decorate the walls and put your own furniture in and that, So you can get an older one, as long as it's been well maintained, and put your own furniture in it and decorate it, just like you would a bungalow, So you don't have to pay a fortune for one. If you want an older one, you can do. It's just finding that one in the right place for you, isn't it?
It's like our site, the owner give you options. If it's a new one, if you wanted things changed, if you didn't want a shower, you wanted a bath or anything like that, he'd arrange for the company to do that.
Yeah.
It's like we had patio doors on ours. Originally it didn't, but when we come to buy it, had patio doors, which he had put
them in as an extra, didn't they?
As an extra.
Because of the view on the back. So you can still, people have conservatories put on the back.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
Obviously, you've got to get permission from the site.
Yeah, just to make sure it's all right.
Do anything like that. But yeah, people have porches and conservatories. People have plastic decking. Yeah. The only thing is, on our site, one stipulation is wood. You have to have a plastic or metal shed. You're not allowed wooden decking. You can have plastic decking. We've got a raised patio that the site owner done. And so that's something to be mindful of as well. When we moved in, we only had low fences. And we spoke to the neighbours and said, do you like privacy like we do? Can we put sort of a 6-foot fence up? And they were happy. And we got permission from the owner.
Yeah, so that's what we said before we actually bought it. Because it had a tall fence. He took it down to put a low one. And the neighbours would have preferred the tall one anyway because they had roses, didn't they? Yeah. And we actually said to him, look, is it okay if we buy it to put this fence up, a 6-foot fence? And he said, yeah, not a problem.
So always get
as long as you ask to make sure.
Yeah, with the owner and the neighbours. And so, yes, we've got a nice private back garden as well, so which is nice. And that. So the only other thing is to be mindful of when you sell. Yeah. There is normally a percentage to go to the site owner. Normally it's about 10%, but obviously each site can vary. So that's something, can
be less and more.
Yeah, be mindful of as well. When you sell it, you have to obviously pay that percentage of the sale price to the owner. Another big thing is if, God forbid, if anything happened to us and whilst this was being sold, the ground rent still needs to be paid. So that's another biggie to be mindful of as well. If you're not living in here, the ground rent still needs to be paid for however long it is until that unit is sold. So that's another biggie to take into consideration as well. But no, I think that's it. I think we've answered all the questions, hopefully, that you've asked, and we've answered them as truthfully as we can. And we absolutely love it. If you haven't seen our park home video, if you want to see it all, it is lovely. I'll put it in the description box for you down below. We had so many views on there. There's so many people out there looking for affordable living, isn't there? nowadays, because life is so expensive, isn't it? And it's nice to have that extra money for holidays and things, isn't it?
Well, it's like being on holiday.
Well,
Wake up every morning, it's like you
it
feel like
is,
you're on holiday.
honestly. We thank our lucky stars. We wake up every morning, we take our cup of coffee outside if it's nice, sit outside on the patio, and we've got a lovely open view at the back, and we've got wildlife, we've got deer, we've got fox we feed, and it's just so beautiful. And we sit there and we really do feel that we're on holiday, don't we? We really do. And that's priceless, isn't it? You know, to us. So there was a few little snags. Sort of the children might not get as much equity out of this as what they would have done from the house. But that's another thing we did. We had a conversation with the children and said, look, this is what we'd like to do. What do you think about it? And they all said, yeah, if it's for you, you know, if that's something you want to do, then go for it. You know, because nowadays our children don't earn as much as what we do, if not more, don't they, nowadays, you know? So, I mean, they still have something, you know, it'd be shared between them when we're not around, unless one of them wants to sort of take it on and sort of pay the others off. So, you know, they're still going to get some inheritance, but probably not as much as they would have done if we'd have kept our house, you know. But we talked it over with them and they were, delighted for us, and they love it. They absolutely love it. They love coming up as well. Grandkids go and play out the field at the back, don't they? And, you know, they can run around because we're so lucky we've got an open field at the back. We've got a little gate. They can go out and play and run around, and they absolutely love it. And they love seeing the wildlife because some children don't see it, do they? You know, they know all about the deers now. We've had a partridge, haven't we? Apparently there's a couple of sets of badgers out the back. We haven't seen them yet, have we?
No.
We've got a couple of foxes that we feed, and it's just lovely. It's just lovely. And
squirrels.
Yeah, they love it too. They love coming up as well. So anyway, we've just whittled on, or I have mostly, about, you know, how we love living where we love. But hopefully it answered some of your questions that you've asked. And if you do think of anything else, just put it in the comments and we'll answer, the best we can. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll link the park home tour in the description box for you down below in case you want to sit and have a look at that. So take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.